Google has just dropped some mind-blowing updates for Google Maps and Earth. These tools have come a long way since they first started, but this latest update, it's taking things to a whole new level. So what's the big deal? Well, Google has now baked advanced AI right into both platforms. This isn't just a small tweak. We're talking about a major boost in what these tools can do and how easy they are to use. Picture this: better visuals, super useful new tools, some pretty incredible time travel features. I know it sounds like sci-fi, but it's real, and it's going to be a game changer, especially for folks working in research, urban planning, or anyone who loves virtual exploration. All right, let's dive into the coolest part of this update, the time machine feature. Imagine being able to zip back in time and see what places looked like decades ago. We're talking about being able to view historical images of cities like Berlin, London, Paris, and Warsaw from as far back as the 1930s. That's nearly 80 years of history at your fingertips. Want to see how your neighborhood has changed over the years? Or maybe check out how famous landmarks looked back in the day? Now you can. For instance, you could watch San Francisco's waterfront transform from a busy shipping area to the tourist hotspot it is now. But this isn't just about satisfying our curiosity. This feature is a goldmine for researchers, urban planners, and environmentalists. They can use it to study how cities have grown, how infrastructure has developed, and how our environment has changed over time. And it's not just limited to a few big cities. Google Earth users can access historical images from thousands of places all over the world. This means you can see how human activity, natural disasters, and climate change have affected different areas. Take California's Lake Oroville, for example. You can see how droughts have lowered water levels over time, and then compare that to more recent images after heavy rainfall. The difference is pretty shocking. Now let's talk about another cool new tool, the Timelapse feature. This one's a bit different from the time machine. It uses millions of satellite images to show how landscapes have changed over the years. It's like watching a super fast video of how a place has transformed. You can see things like cities expanding, forests shrinking, or coastlines changing shape. Whether you're a curious explorer or a serious researcher, there's something here for everyone. This isn't just cool to look at. It's super important for people working in climate science, conservation, and even policymaking. Imagine having decades of data right at your fingertips. It's like a time machine for decision makers, helping them plan for the future of our cities and our environment. Now let's talk about how Google is making it easier to see what's happening right now. They've come up with this fancy AI called Cloud Score Plus. It's like having a super smart photo editor that can remove clouds, mist, haze, and shadows from satellite images. The result? Crystal clear views of Earth, no matter what the weather's like. It's like having X-ray vision for the planet. But here's the really cool part. This AI doesn't just make things look pretty. It keeps all the important stuff intact, like mountain shadows, ice caps, and snow. So what you're seeing is still super accurate. This is a big deal for researchers and professionals who need to rely on this kind of geographic data. Think about it. If you're trying to study how an area is changing over time, a bunch of cloudy pictures can really mess up your work. This new AI basically says, no problem. It gives you clear, consistent images that you can actually use. It's a massive step up from the old Google Earth and Maps. Remember how frustrating it was when you'd zoom in on a place and all you'd see was a big white cloud? Those days are over. They've just dropped a massive update to their Street View service. We're talking about adding fresh images from nearly 80 new countries. That's huge. It's like they've opened up a whole new world for us to explore. Imagine being able to virtually stroll through medieval villages in Bosnia, or check out the sandy mountains in Namibia. You can even take a peek at the Alps or some amazing castles in Liechtenstein. It's like having a magic carpet that can take you anywhere. And get this, they've got this new 15-pound camera that can be strapped onto pretty much any vehicle. This means they can now capture places that were tough to reach before. So those off-the-beaten-path spots, yeah, we can see those now too. It's not just about far-off places, though. This update lets you wander through foreign cities, peek into shops, and get up close to historic landmarks. It's like being a tourist without leaving your couch. Now, Let's talk about the cool AI stuff they've added to Google Maps. If you're in the US, you might have already seen this. It's like having a super smart travel buddy right in your phone. This AI can give you recommendations based on your budget, where you are, and even what the weather's like. Say you're looking for a place to eat. The AI doesn't just throw a bunch of random restaurants at you. It considers your budget, what kind of food you like, and even the current weather. Raining outside and you're not sure what to do? No problem. The AI might suggest some cool indoor activities nearby, like a museum or an indoor playground. It's all laid out in this neat card-style layout that's super easy to use. Once you get the hang of it, finding exactly what you're looking for becomes a breeze. Whether you're a local looking for something new or a tourist trying to make the most of your trip, this AI's got your back. Now let's talk about how Google's making our lives easier with these AI updates. You know how sometimes you're not sure where to go or what to do? Well, this AI takes care of that. It's like having a super smart friend who always knows what's going on. Google Maps has had a bit of a makeover too. They've introduced this new card-style layout that looks really clean and slick. It might not seem like a big deal, but trust me, it makes a huge difference. Everything's more intuitive now. Whether you're planning a road trip or just looking for a good coffee shop nearby, it's way easier to find what you need. It's one of those changes that you didn't know you needed until you try it. So what does all this mean in the big picture? Well, for the pros, like urban planners, researchers, and environmentalists, these updates are gold. They can now look back in time and see how cities and landscapes have changed over decades. For environmentalists, features like Timelapse and that Cloud Score Plus we talked about earlier are super helpful. They can see how ecosystems are changing and use that info to protect our planet better. And for us regular folks, the AI makes our everyday lives smoother. It gives us better recommendations and clearer satellite images. These aren't just cool gadgets. They're actually really useful improvements. Bottom line, Google Maps and Earth have become must-have tools. They offer everything from time travel, well, kind of, to smarter navigation. And the best part? This is just the beginning. As AI keeps getting smarter, we can expect even more amazing updates in the future. Alright, that's all for now. If you're into AI, robotics, and all things tech, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think about these updates. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.